Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to learn how to fix a key error in Python. A key error happens when we try to access a dictionary key that doesn't exist. If we don't handle it properly, our program will display an error. Python provides several simple ways to handle this problem. In this video, I'll show you 4 easy methods with practical examples and outputs. We'll learn how to use the try except block, the get method, the in operator, and the use of setDefault method. By the end of this video, you will know when and how to use each method to safely access dictionary values. So, let's get started. Let's start with the first method, that is using the try except block. This method catches the key error exception when we try to access a dictionary key that doesn't exist. Instead of stopping the program, it allows us to handle the error gracefully and continue executing the remaining code. If we look at the example, we have a dictionary containing two key value pairs. The key name has value Alice and the key age has the value 25. Now, notice that there is no key called email in this dictionary. When we try to access the email key using the square brackets, Python cannot find it, so it will raise a key error. Because this statement is inside a try block, the program doesn't crash. Instead, Python immediately jumps to the except key error block. Inside the except block, we assign the value key not found to the variable. So instead of displaying an error message and stopping the program, our program continues running smoothly with an output. This approach is useful whenever you are working with dictionaries where some keys may or may not exist, such as reading data from JSON files, APIs, or user input. Now, let's see this with a practical example. I'll copy paste the code and I'll explain each line of this code. First, I create a dictionary named myDict. It contains two key value pairs. One is name and another one is age. Name with the value alias and age with the value 25. Next, I'll write the try block by using the try keyword. This block tells Python to execute the code inside and watch for any exception that may occur. Inside the try block, I write value is equals to my dictionary. Inside the bracket, I have written email. Here, I am trying to access the email key from the dictionary. Since this key doesn't exist in Python, it raises key error. Next, I write except key error block, which is like except key error colon. This tells Python that if a key error occurs, execute following code instead of stopping the program. Inside the except block, I write value is equals to key not found. Here, instead of displaying an error, I am assigning a custom message to the value variable. Finally, I print the value variable to see the result. For this, I'll use print function and I'll pass value variable. If I run this code, you can see key not found error. Here in our dictionary, you can see only the name and age is we have. When we try to access the email which doesn't exist, it will raise a key error. So this is one of the simple example for handling missing dictionary values in Python. It prevents your program from crashing and it will allow you to provide custom response whenever a key is not available. Let's move to the second method, that is using get method. The get method is one of the easiest and safest ways to access values from dictionary. Unlike using square brackets, the get method doesn't raise a key error if the key doesn't exist. Instead, it simply returns none or it can return default value that we specify. If you look at the example, we have the same dictionary containing two key value pairs. The key name has the value Alice and the key age has value 25. Again, notice that there is no key called email in this dictionary. Now, instead of accessing key using square brackets, we'll use get method. Since email key doesn't exist, the get method doesn't generate a key error. Instead, it returns none. We then check whether the returned value is none. If it is, we assign our own message key not found. This approach is much better than using try except block when you simply want to retrieve a value. Now let's see an example for this method. First, I create a dictionary named my dictionary. It contains two key value pairs. One is name and its value is alias, and another key is age with the value 25. Next, I use the get method. Value is equals to my dictionary dot get method. Inside that we have passed email and key not found text. Here I am trying to retrieve the value for email key. Since this key is not available in the dictionary, the get method doesn't throw a key error. Instead, it simply returns none, and that value is stored in value variable. Here, instead of leaving the value as none, I am assigning a text called key not found. Then finally I'll print the value variable to see the result. For that I'll use print function inside value variable. If I run this code, you can see key not found message is displayed. And the program is continue running normally without any errors. So this is the simple method most commonly used ways to safely access dictionary values. If you are not sure whether a key exists, the get method will help because it will avoid errors and keep your code clean. Before we continue, I want to quickly share one of the latest Python project with you. If you are looking for an easy way to convert speech into text, check out our speech to text converter built using Python. With this application, you can upload an audio file or record your voice directly using your microphone, and the tool automatically converts spoken words into readable text within seconds. It supports speech recognition from audio files, real-time voice input, instant text display, and also lets you to save the converted text for future use. Whether you want to create meeting transcript, convert interviews into text, take voice notes, or build your own speech recognition project, this application can save a lot of time. The complete Python project solution, including the source code, is available to download. You can explore the code, run the application on your own computer, and even customize it for your own requirements. I have added the download link in the video description below. Check it out and try the speech to text converter using Python. Let's move on to our third method, that is using in operator. The in operator allows us to check whether key exists in a dictionary before trying to access it. Instead of directly accessing a key and risking a key error, we can first verify whether the key is present or not. If the key exists, we can safely retrieve its value. Otherwise, we can display a default message or perform any other actions. If we look at this example, we have the same dictionary containing two key value pairs. The key name has value alias and key age contains value 25. Again, notice that there is no key called email in this dictionary. Before accessing the email key, we use the in operator to check whether it exists or not. Since the key is not available, the condition evaluates false and the else block is executed. And inside else block, we'll assign key not found message. This method completely avoids key error because we'll never try to access the key unless we know it already exists. You can use this approach when your program needs to perform different actions depending on whether the key is available or not. Now let's see an example for this. First, I create a dictionary named my dictionary. It contains two key value pairs, name and age. Next, I use the if statement along with in operator. If email in my dictionary. Here in this line, Python checks whether key called email exists in the dictionary or not. If the key exists, this condition returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Inside if block, I write value is equals to my dictionary of email. This line executes only when the email key is found. Since we have already checked that the key exists, this statement won't raise a key error. Next, I'll write else block. using else keyword. The else block run whenever the key is not found. Inside else block, I have written value is equals to key not found. Here I am assigning a custom message instead of allowing the program fail. Finally, I'll print the value variable to see the result using print function. If I run this code, you can see key not found message is printed. Python skip the if block and it execute else block and it will print key not found message. This method helps to check whether key exists before accessing it so that you can avoid key error exception and write reliable code. Let's see the last method, that is using Setdefault method. This method check whether a key already exists in dictionary. If the key exists, it simply returns its values. Else, it will automatically add the key to the dictionary with the default value and then it will return the value. In get method, which only returns a default value, the Setdefault method will update the dictionary by inserting the missing key. If we look at this example, we have the same dictionary containing two key value pairs, name and age, with its values. Again, we don't have email key in our dictionary. Now, instead of checking whether email exists or not, we use Setdefault method. Since email key is not present, Python will automatically add email key to the dictionary and assign a default value called key not found. This method then returns this value which we stored in the value variable. This is useful when you want to ensure that the key always exists in the dictionary before using later in your program. Now let's see an example for this. First, I'll create a dictionary called My Dictionary where name and age are keys and allies and 25 are the respective values. Next, I'll call the Setdefault method value is equals to my dictionary dot set default method. Inside that I am passing email and key not found message. Here I am asking to look for email keyword. If the key already exists, it simply returns its values. If it doesn't exist, it creates new key called email and the default value it will assign to email is key not found. Then the result will be stored in the value variable. I'll print that value variable using print function. And to verify that the dictionary has actually been updated, we'll use print my dictionary. I'll run this code. This method return the value from the email key. The return value is key not found, which we have passed here. And again, if you look at this dictionary, it has been updated with email key and its value. So the main difference between get method and set default method is the get method returns default value without changing the dictionary, where set default method will return value and it also adds the missing key to the dictionary. You can use this method when you want to ensure that the key always exists in the dictionary. In this video, we learned 4 different methods to fix a key error in Python. We learned how to use try except block, the get method, in operator and set default method. And we learned how to handle missing dictionary keys. I hope this tutorial helped you to understand when and how to use each of these methods. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more Python tutorials.